Hey, it's foggy here today. I thought I'd kind of take a walk around this morning, and I was hoping really to kind of talk to the young folks out there. They're in their 20s and your 30s, and you're kind of wondering what to do in life and how to make sense of it, what's important in life. You know, well, we're all individuals, and I can't really tell anybody what they think is important in life, but I'll tell you what I think is important in life, and that's time. In life, I see what I've learned, in my lifetime is that there's two things really that kind of make this world go round. There's money, right? We all know that, and then there's time. And very few people have both. If you're a billionaire, millionaire, kind of hedge fund guy or whatever, you're spending 60, 70 hours a week at work. You don't have time. You're answering to a boss, and yeah, you're making big money and you might take nice vacations and stuff, but do you really own your life? You're spending your life doing somebody else's bidding. I think people are starting to reevaluate that because the contract's been broken. It seems to me that the systems of the world are being set up into it's a new kind of a feudal state, I guess you call it. There's going to be aristocrats, we call them oligarchs. Elites, I wouldn't call them elites. I'd call them, psychopaths, most of them. People that worship money. I think they're nuts. You want time, you want quality of life, and that means you have to own what you have. The only reason that I have this, and I've done all this, out of my pocket because I worked to afford it. I mean, we had the land, but I had bought the fifth wheel. I built that barn. I picked this up free on Craigslist or Facebook Marketplace or some. Yeah, I think it was Facebook Marketplace. Anyway, then we kind of remodeled that and we put a top on it yesterday. There was a little bit of leak somewhere. I wasn't sure where it was from, so my neighbor had given me a garage in a box. I took his top off and cut it to fit and put that on, but that's perfectly nice, warm, safe place to stay. Both of these have got running water, and they're warm, and I don't owe anybody. My suggestion would be, if you're in your 20s and 30s, is you need to buy a piece of land first, and then you need to move on to that land, and you need to build your home. You don't want to sign a 30-year death note. And you definitely don't want to treat your home like an asset. Technically, yes, I understand it's an asset, but it's your home. It's where you live. Don't count on your home as your retirement. That's just ridiculous. You want to have time, you need to own everything that you have. Debt, it's prison. The whole system of the world is set up to get you in prison as fast as they can. They're going to get you into a death note. They're going to hook you into a $140,000 truck that's going to last for 4 or 5 years. You'll never get out from under that note. How about they lock you into student loans, where even in bankruptcy you can't get out from under that debt? What are they doing? They're piling you into a system that's designed to keep you down. And the way to get out of that system is not to play their game. Get out of that system before it collapses. You're going to need some food. You're going to need water. You're going to need community. If you're one of these lone wolf guys, I'm just going to run out to the cabin with my gun, you're a dead man or woman. 3 guys, 2 guys, well trained, you're done. Actually, 1 guy. If I was going to take out somebody in a cabin and I wanted their stuff, I would just sit in the woods with my gun, sit up against a tree, wait for him to come out, feed his ducks in the morning, and go get a carrot out of his garden, and then plug him. Good luck if you're that kind of a guy. You're going to need community. We started out this year with I think 4 ducks. Now we got 10 ducks. People keep giving us ducks. I know we got our first duck egg this morning too. That was good. So yeah, you want to own your land. You don't want any debt. You want to be able to tell that boss, you know what? This isn't working for me anymore. I'm gone. I've done it more than once. So that was getting a little heavy. I didn't mean for it to kind of go down the, I mean, I'm not anti-capitalist or anything like that. I'm more of like, well, what's that old saying? Chop wood, carry water. It's more simple living for me. I did the rat race. I mean, I've been on 50-foot yachts, and I love going to Hawaii. We vacation there. It's not like I'm talking about a life of, you know, lack. Life of experiences. That's what I had. I think that's what's most important, is it's the experiences in life. You're not going to remember going to that job every day for 30 years or whatever. Very few memories come from work. Your memories come from time spent with family and friends and being outdoors. You know, you need to have the passion to chase what you want, to find your passions. You need to have the freedom to do that. And debt is not gonna help you achieve those goals. What's gonna help you achieve those goals is owning everything that you have that allows you to stand on your own 2 feet. It allows you to tell that boss or whoever that I'm choosing a different way. I want to have a different life. I'm not saying it's going to be easy. You're going to need, you know, some money, of course. I think I've said it. I'm not saying that, you know, you got to live in the woods and eat acorns, but what I am saying is you need to own your life. And in order to own your life, you have to own your things. You have to own your property. You have to own the house you live in, own the vehicles in your driveway. And it's hard. It's hard work. You're going to pay for it one way or the other. You're going to pay for it with hard work, working for somebody else. Or you're going to pay for it in hard work, working for you. Building your life, building your home, building your dreams. But it's Wednesday morning. Most guys my age are, sitting in their office, sitting in their cubicle. When I used to be one of those guys. Like I said, I retired at 55, COVID hit, and that was it. I was done. I figured out that, well, it's all just a big game. And I decided not to play the game anymore. So we came back to, from Alaska, we moved back here to Maine because Maine's such a great place. The people are so great. Weather's good. We love growing, you know, our own food, hunting, fishing, all that sort of thing. This is the place to do it, I think. You know, it's Alaska's great, but in the summer, I mean, you know, you got 4 months to get through 8 months of winter, especially the interior. 40 below, 50 below is no joke. And Alaska will not suffer a fool. It will kill you quick. I heard a statistic, and I don't know if these numbers are accurate, but something like, what was it, 36,000 people since 1982 have gone missing in Alaska, something like that. I mean, it's a rugged country, but it was awesome, you know. It sure was a cool place to kind of have a lifetime of experience. I still got kids there. I got grandkids there, you know, and I miss them every day. But that's another part of life, is you raise your children, and hopefully you raise them well. I'm very proud of my children. I think they're fantastic people. They're great parents. They're smart. But you have to let them go, and they have to be able to live their life, and you've got to live your life, especially once you retire. And that's the other thing, is you know, if you want to take retirement early, you know, it's probably going to cost you, and you're sitting there thinking, well, geez, if I just work 5 more years, you know, then my check will be whatever, $2,300 instead of $1,800, depending on your retirement account. Well, I don't think that those extra years of working is worth the $200 or $300 a month. You know, it's you can come back here, cut back there, and especially if you own everything, you'd be amazed at how cheap. You see the blue heron just took off there. You'd be amazed at how cheap you can live. So what do you need to live? You need shelter, and you need food, you need air to breathe, you need community. Those things don't cost anything. They don't have to cost anything. The systems of the world are set up, you know, so that you get locked in. You got to rent. You got to pay that rent. I got to put up with that boss I'd rather slap just to pay the rent. Get out from under it. Choose a different path. Live simply. You're going to be happier, I'm telling you. Take it from a guy who's been there and done that. All right, well, I guess I should probably get off my soapbox. I hope you have a great day. Well, I had another thought. I'm sure I'm going to get in the comments down there, somebody's going to say something, you know, probably the effect, well, yeah, it's easy for you. You're not just starting out. How can I save money and get out of debt? I have all these bills, and, you know, I have kids to feed, and I've got all this stuff to do. And I'm not a financial expert or anything like that, and I don't have all the answers for everybody, but I can tell you I've built 4 or 5 homesteads, if you count flipping houses and everything like that. You know, you probably say 6 or 8. Anyway, so I kind of have done this before, and I know what it takes, and it takes a lot of work, and it takes sacrifice in the beginning. You know, one guy said to me, why should I spend, 20 years building a house when I can get a mortgage for 20 years and then live in that house? I just never understood that way of thinking. I guess I can understand it. Intellectually I can go there, but it's nothing that I want to do. It's nothing for me, debt was always a prison, and to pay to live. You're free. You're born free, right? You're a free person. I hope and pray you are free. And then you put yourself in jail. You put yourself into a prison. You put yourself in a place where you have to go to work. You have to deal with that boss or that coworker. You have to deal with the traffic. You've got no choice because you have put yourself in that position. Nobody forced you to take out a mortgage. Nobody forced you to buy the $80,000 pickup truck that you'll enjoy for 2 weeks and then have to pay for it for the next 10 years. That truck is going to break down way before you ever pay it off. I don't know what these car companies are thinking. 150 grand for a pickup truck? You're out of your mind. Out of your mind. Pay that much money for a truck. I think my first house didn't cost that. So anyway, you got to find land. You got to buy land. I've got land. I will sell you land on time. And there are many other people out there with land that they've got that they would like to see some young people get a start. And that's why I'm doing this. I've offered, a chance to a bunch of young folks. But, like the hippies back in the 60s, I guess they had some sort of an idea of, what it was going to be. And it turns out it's nothing like, what they were thinking. It's nothing but work. It's hard work. I've told people that. To whack an existence, a homestead out of the raw woods. But hey, I got bad shoulders, a bad back. I've been in the construction industry for over 45 years, and my body shows it. I get up in the morning, if I woke up and I felt good, I'd be afraid I was dead. But that doesn't stop me, and it shouldn't stop you. And if you're 20, 30 years old, man, now is the time. I believe in the not too distant future, there's just going to be people that have land. It's going to be like an old feudal system. I think I said that. There's going to be landowners that are going to control vast areas. I think Bill Gates, I don't know how he owns some 100,000 acres or some crazy something like that. I mean, these billionaires and millionaires, they're buying everything up. The little guys are going to be priced out of the market. You say you can't afford land. Do you think land's ever going to get any cheaper than it is right now? Maybe in some regional areas. But if the median house price is $260,000, that means people are willing to pay that much money for a house. That's what the market is. That's what capitalism is, right? So you better, don't wait, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Is somehow you've got to get in the game. You've got to get an asset. You've got to get that land. You can find one with a small cottage, buy some land and put a fifth wheel on it. You need to start homesteading. People are, I've lost a lot of family, like I said, last few years. And man, once people are in their 70s, they that's when people start dying. That's when you lose a lot of your family and friends in their 70s. I can tell you that from experience. And a lot of them never made it out of their 60s. So what are you going to do? You're going to work till you're 72 to pay off that $600,000 house? And then at 74, you're going to die? You're going to have 2 years of retirement? Is that a life well lived? That's an individual judgment, I guess. But I would rather have experiences. So I just kind of thought I'd add that little bit to this.